Here I'm going to give a quick explanation of the standard unit vectors I hat and j hat. Okay, the hat on top of a vector tells you that the length of the vector, or its magnitude, is just 1. The vector I hat is the vector 1, 0. The vector j hat is the vector 0, 1. Okay, I'll plot those on the xy plane. Okay, so you see that the vector I hat, it starts at the origin and it just goes 1 unit in the x direction. The vector j hat starts at the origin and goes 1 unit in the y direction. Okay, not all books use the hat notation. Sometimes they'll just denote this vector 1, 0 with a very, very bold-faced I, and the vector 0, 1 with a bold-faced j. Okay, so those just mean the standard unit. Those just refer to the standard unit vectors in the xy plane. Okay, a lot of times you're going to see vectors written as combinations of I and j. So for example, we have the vector 4 times the unit vector I plus 3 times the unit vector j. Let's see what this vector is just by carrying out the multiplication and addition. So that's 4 times the vector 1, 0 plus 3 times the vector 0, 1. So that's the vector 4, 0 plus the vector 0, 3. And finally we have the vector 4, 3. So the vector 4i plus 3j, we just go 4 units in the x direction and 3 units in the y direction, and that takes us to the vector 4i plus 3j. Okay, we notice a pattern here. It's no surprise that we had to go 4 units in the x direction and 3 units up in the y direction, because the coefficient, or the scalar that you're multiplying I by, is 4. The scalar that you're multiplying j by is 3. So in general, if you have a vector a times I plus b times j, it's just going to go a units in the x direction and b units in the y direction. All right, so the vector a times I hat plus b times j hat is simply the vector a, b.